boy. Right, welcome to the show, lads. How we going tonight? Welcome to the Nick from Australia Late Night Footy Show, joined by Sam Revel tonight. I don't know where NRL Vid 090 is. He's probably in a corner smashing shit after that Manly Melbourne game. Who would know with NRL Vids? I don't even know where he is, and I hope he's all right. But Sam, how you going, bro?
Hey, thank you for having me once again on the late night show every Saturday night. So I thought Super Saturday today was probably the most enjoyable Super Saturday I've had in about a month or so, mate. I thought it was a really good Saturday.
It's been a while, bro. Seriously. It's been a while since we've had a couple of games that have been all right, but yeah, I'm still a little bit pissed off with that last result. Lost a lot of money on that game, but we'll talk about that shortly. But say hello to the chat. We've got people rolling in everywhere. It's absolutely fantastic. Just so you guys know, tonight's show is going to be a little bit shorter. Probably going to go for an hour tonight, normally 2, but there's a massive Super League game on at 11:30 tonight, St. Helens and Catalans, 1 versus 2 in the ladder, and I really want to watch that game at 11:30. So the show will be a little bit shorter than normal tonight, but I do have a few fans who watch the channel who are going to join. I've got one Broncos fan joining in about 10, 15 minutes, so we'll get him on shortly. But hello, everyone. Yeah, it wasn't a bad Super Saturday. A lot of good games. Just sucks when you don't win money on it. You lose money. It's depressing. But yeah, fuck me.
That's all right, man. People from all over the world are tuning in for the Nick from Australia Late Night Footy Show, mate. All the footy's done. They don't want to watch Fox League. They come from England, New Zealand, right here at home in Australia, mate. They're all tuning in.
Well, I'm a little bit annoyed about the Roosters game. I will get into it. That game really got under my fucking skin. The amount of 6 agains that went to the Panthers, it was ridiculous. The Hargrave Simbin was ridiculous. In the Manly Melbourne game, Melbourne was so lucky tonight. It's ridiculous. Cronulla, what a bunch of fucking losers. Seriously, that was embarrassing from them. They were fucking god-awful. I can't believe Cronulla blew that game against New Zealand. I can't believe the Roosters showed nothing till the second half, and then Manly Melbourne. How lucky were Melbourne tonight? Fuck, mate. That's like 3 tries off lucky plays.
Yeah, off the back of Manly errors, though, admittedly. Do you want to get into the game now, mate?
Yeah, go on, mate. Let's go on.
All right.
Manly Melbourne.
Well, first of all, if NRL Vid 090, I hope you all know who NRL Vid 090 is. He's co-creator of the Rugby League Breakdown podcast you can catch on Wednesday nights. I thought NRL Vid 090 took the loss quite graciously, and you should go check out his channel and see his review of his team's loss tonight to Melbourne Storm. But onto the game itself, it followed a very similar pattern as to what we've seen for a couple of years now. Melbourne Storm got off to a bit of a flyer, and defence held firm from the opposition. And then out of nowhere, much like Manly's season, they level things up. And then they go in at half-time at 8 points apiece. They take the lead, and then it's an error from the kickoff, essentially. And the Melbourne Storm come hitting back. And I've got to say, I think everyone's saying it as well. The 6 agains, mate, the seesaw looked like that by the end of the game, didn't it? 6 agains and penalties and whatnot just went the Melbourne Storm's way. And it's not the first time Manly have been dudded in that aspect of the in the competition as well. So, but look, kudos to Manly, but man, they will be a fearsome factor come finals. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they hit the preliminary final stage, and if they hit grand final day, man, I mean, it would be hard not to root for them as well.
Well, 6 again rule. Seriously, the amount of times I have said get rid of it is seriously, it's just, you can put it in a fucking compilation video. Is that if I said it that many times with the 6 again, honestly, it's a fucking joke. Get rid of the fucking rule. You had Hargraves giving away 6 agains. He goes for 10 in the bin, and he doesn't even get a warning. And then you had tonight, oh, fuck, mate. It's like the referees are looking for it. It's just ridiculous. But look, Melbourne and Manly. Look, I feel like Manly, they should have won, but they didn't win. And when Manly were up 14-8, I feel like they had it. That was their chance. And then they score off a knock on from Turbo, which is fucking rare as day. And then they score off another one where it's another knock on from Ruben Garrick. It's just so lucky. It's just ridiculous. And Melbourne, some of that shit they got away with tonight, laying down in the rock, elbows on the ground. The one where Brandon Smith, I think it was Brandon Smith, whacked someone in the face, got away with it, and I'm going, you fucking asshole. They just, seriously, the amount of shit they get away with, it's beyond a joke. And I cannot wait until Melbourne lose. I seriously cannot wait. I'll have a fucking party when Melbourne lose. Seriously, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. Like everyone's like, oh, they're untouchable. They're fucking juggernaut. They're gonna win every game. Blah blah blah. Manly showed me tonight that Melbourne have weak spots. The Cowboys showed it a few weeks ago. I watched the Manly Melbourne game on Channel 9, and Rugby History sent me a few messages privately, and he goes, Dan Gannay said Melbourne have won easy the last 2 months. And I'm going, Cowboys nearly beat him a few weeks ago. And then it's like Dan Gannay was just taking the piss out of the Cowboys and all the fans. So Dan Gannay, you fucking goodbye, suck-face cunt. Go and fuck yourself, Gannay. I hate Gannay. Fuck him. I hate him. Bro, if there's a game of footy that's on Channel 9 and on Fox, if Gannay's doing the game on Fox, I will switch to Channel 9 straight away. I'm like, nah, I can't deal with it. I just can't. He's so shit. He's the worst commentator.
Sometimes I don't mind Ghanaian, but I definitely prefer watching the Fox League coverage and commentary compared to Channel 9's. But yeah, Ray Warren called the other night. But anyway, so Brandon Smith, man. Brandon Smith, that's that penalty that was blown that sort of just killed the game then and there, man. Look, there's a case that could be made that he was going to be tackled without the ball because the Manly player was touching him already before he received it. But you've got to make that tackle. You have to make that tackle, and it was so soft. That penalty was such a soft penalty, and that's why everyone, I think, is so bitter. If you're not a Melbourne Storm fan, everyone's pretty just dour and bitter about how the way that game finished, because for about 70 minutes, I had no idea. I don't think anyone still had any idea who was going to win, and then it just went that way, and it was game done, set and match. So Brandon Smith, man, he's always around when there's controversy, isn't there, as of late? So he can be a playful bugger, but at the same time, when he's on the paddock and he gets those 50-50 calls always going his way under the Melbourne Storm regime, or whatever you want to call it, it sort of leaves a bitter taste in your mouth, doesn't it?
Mate, the thing that pissed me off the most about that Brandon Smith penalty at the end was he got up laughing. Like, he knew what he was doing. He deliberately did that. Now, the referee is always going to blow the penalty for that. So, the referee's just going by what the fucking idiots in the bunker are telling him and all that. So, I do feel sorry for the referees in a way, but come on, man. We all saw that was a milk. He got up, started laughing, and, I'm telling you right now, if that game tonight was at Brookie and fans were allowed in, if that was a packed house, mate, Manly fans would have fucking lost it, bro. They would have got their bottles, the alcohol. They would have literally lost their shit. They would have threw shit on the ground. They would have threw shit on the ground, bro. Like, seriously, that was a joke. That was ridiculous.
But hey, Nick, that wasn't the only bit of playing up as well that Melbourne Storm did tonight. If I'm being frank with you, Kenny Bromwich, I think he acted a little bit too hard done by when he got hit by Okolatu. I think it was.
Okolatu, that was a flop.
Thank you. It was, wasn't it? Yeah, he just hit by a feather, basically.
Mate, Andrew Johns, I was watching the game on Channel 9. Andrew Johns said, are you serious? This is not ballet. Joey was losing it. And I don't blame him. I was like, you're fucking joke.
I'll say this, though, man. I think, whilst I don't think he was quiet or silent, Tommy Turbo was not his brilliant self. He definitely tried hard, but he wasn't his brilliant self. And I thought Daly Cherry Evans probably had his worst game in a number of weeks, actually. And just errors and ill discipline cost Manly in the end tonight, unfortunately. But the best thing about this for Manly Seagulls fans is that they're going to learn so much about themselves. They would have learned so much about the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah.
And they're going to evolve, Manly, for sure.
The best way I can put this, I remember a lot of the guys that watch my channel are not familiar with the Super League. A couple of years ago, when my team, Salford, were on a good run, they ended up making the finals for the first time in a long fucking time. They played Wigan. Obviously, Wigan are one of the juggernaut teams in the Super League. And what happened was Salford played Wigan in Wigan. Wigan beat them 16-12, and Salford got so much out of that game. And then they played in the preliminary final, and Salford belted the fuck out of them 28-4. So Manly losing tonight by 10 against Melbourne, no shame in it. Manly will be so much better for it next time because the mistakes that Garrick made and Turbo made off the bomb, they'll be so much better for it in the long run. So expect Manly to be a lot better next time. But you know, with Turbo tonight, everyone's bagging him. Look, here's the thing. Everyone who's bagging Turbo tonight, seriously, they need to shut the fuck up. They're just casual fans talking shit. Turbo was fine. He doesn't have to do his meters all the time. He wanted to be more playmaking tonight. He wanted to do more things to his game. And I thought he had 2 tries since I think it was. 2 tries that Garrick is set up. What is everyone whinging about? What do you want him to do? Fucking chip and chase over the whole team? They're playing Melbourne. They're not playing They're not playing Cronulla. They're not playing Parramatta. They're not playing Newcastle. They're playing the fucking Storm. So everyone needs to shut up and relax about that. That's just ridiculous, honestly. I'm about to get the Broncos fan on. But, yeah, I'm with you, bro. DCE was fucking awful. He was awful. And Josh Schuster as well. Shocking. Awful game from Schuster. Those two were probably the worst players on the field for the Seagulls. They were god-awful. Absolutely awful. I don't know what the hell happened to them two tonight, but, you know, I felt sorry for Kieran Foran because I thought he actually had a fair game, Foz. I really do.
Yeah, and credit, I thought Morgan Harper also had a pretty good game as well defensively.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was all right, yeah. Yeah, Lachlan Croker had a couple of errors as well, man. He could have been better as well. Yeah, it just wasn't their night tonight, Manly, but it could be in September.
Well, Lachlan Croker needs to do more dummy half because he does fuck all, honestly. But anyway, let's get, I think it's Faraz Alam. We'll get him back on. He was on in the last week. Hey, mate. How you going?
How you going, bro?
Yeah, not bad. Yourself?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Sam, how you going, bro?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, man. How's it been? Yeah, good, man.
Good.
Not too bad. Yeah.
What do you reckon of tonight?
You know, it was a pretty good Saturday afternoon of footy. You know, some tight games. You know, so that's good to see. Considering them blowouts this season, you know, a bit pissed because I lost my tips today. I tipped the Roosters and I tipped Cronulla. You know, and yeah, well, yeah. So yeah, that
Who'd you tip just then, mate? Who'd you tip between Melbourne and Manly?
I tipped Melbourne. I thought Manly had a chance to win. I was with them the whole week, but I thought maybe because of their defense, you know, they've been leaking points against the Tigers and all that, yeah. So I was thinking maybe Melbourne, would just show up, you know, and, you know, they got the job done, you know. There was a bit of controversy in that, but, yeah, you know, Melbourne just get the 2 points.
I'm just sick of people defending them. Like, oh, they're so good. They're so good. Mate, if Melbourne would have not the referees in that pocket all the time, then maybe we'd get better games with the cunts. But no, they want to get away with shit like that all the time.
No. Yeah, it's really upsetting to see, you know, the refs on their side, you know, how many times did they get the penalty blown away? How many restarts were they giving away? It's fucking disgraceful, mate. Sick of it, you know. Awful. Every time, you know, and it's a shame, you know, especially the whole team are a bunch of grubs and flops. You got that bloke Kafushi who wasn't even playing today, but I can't stand him, bro. The bloke, I just look at his face, just want to punch him, mate. I just can't, bro.
Oh, bro, I'm this close to banning the Felice Kafusi name on this fucking show. That's how mad he gets me, bro. Every time I hear his name, my blood just fucking goes very, very hot. It doesn't go well, but let's move on from the Melbourne Manly game because I feel like we're talking negative about it. Let's move on to a better game, mate. Cronulla versus New Zealand. Now, let me just say this about Cronulla. Cronulla, you bunch of flops. What's wrong with you fucking idiots? And I got to say, the Warriors, well done to the Warriors, by the way. Well done to them. Back-to-back weeks where they've come back from behind to get the job done. It was not pretty at all, but they did it once again. So well done to the Warriors. Well deserved. The Sharks, for mine, I don't know what the fuck they were doing, but they led 16-6 and they blew it. Kane Evans has gone into being the dumbest cunt on the planet. Everyone talks about Addo Carr, fastest player on the planet. Well, Kane Evans might be the dumbest cunt on the planet. 2 sin bins, and then Harris Tavita got bitten late. The Warriors, mate, I can't believe they won the game, but well done to them. Fucking brave win.
Yeah, absolutely. So in the press conference, Josh Hannay revealed that towards the end of that game, it was him, Josh Hannay. It was his decision to say, do not go for the 2 points.
Idiot.
Go for the try. And rightfully so, 2GB were blowing up Deluxe about it. I said immediately, why the fuck, excuse my French, why do they not go for the 2 points then and there and try to just beat them with the try? Really bad coaching from Josh Hannay, and it cost him a spot in the top 8. But once more, man, I thought Chanel Harris-Tavita and Reece Walsh actually looked pretty good as a combination, man. And when Sean Johnson comes in next season, maybe it'll look even smoother, but I liked what Walsh and Harris-Tavita did today as well. But Kane Evans as well, man, did everything in his power to try and cost the Warriors that fucking game today. And he's not what the Warriors are about. He's not the player that they want, in my opinion. And I'd be surprised if he wears the jersey again this season, mate. He'll be suspended for a couple of weeks, and I don't think he'll be chosen to play first grade again this year.
Mate, that punch that he threw on Chambers might be the worst fucking punch I've ever seen a player do. I reckon someone on the street after having full schooners could have thrown a better punch than that. That was awful.
Honestly, nothing really against the Sharks there, but the fact that they're playing for the top 8, this is such a winnable game, The Warriors played with 12 men for 60 minutes of that game, and for the Sharks to still lose that game, competing for the top 8, just some inconsistency of their side, especially 5 minutes out. You got 12 men, you've got all the pressure on them. They don't go for the 2, shockingly. Then they kick on the second tackle. What was that? What was that play? That just sums it up at the Sharks now.
I'll tell you something really fucking funny. Now, Will Chambers was obviously pestering everyone tonight today and pissing everyone off, which is cool. Say what you want about it, but he's always done it. But when he fucking grabbed that player's boot and threw it into the fucking crowd, there's no one fucking there. I couldn't stop fucking laughing. That was the funniest thing I've seen. That was hilarious. A couple of years ago, James Maloney used to do it all the time. He used to grab someone's boot and throw it away. Maloney did it for years. Did it for fucking years. And then fucking Chambers grabs the ball, grabs the boot. Like, hey, catch this, fucking security guard. Have this, you can't. You're not doing nothing here. Go fetch. Fucking go after the shoe. That was fucking funny.
But once more, man. Yeah, sorry for us. Cronulla Sharks. I sound like a broken record. Cronulla needs to fix their second half displays if they want to play finals football, man. They've done it again. They just don't seem to come out of the sheds properly. Come the second half, man, when it resumes.
Mate, Kane Evans.
They look by 10.
Yeah,
they were up by 10.
They absolutely fucked it. Now, look.
Yeah.
I had the Sharks and Knights coming in my 7 and 8 spot. I think the Sharks are fucked. Unless the Titans lose tomorrow, which they fucking better, or else they fucking better, because I won't be in the fucking mood if I don't. But we better fucking beat those cunts. But I'm telling you, the Sharks blew it today. They fucked it. They absolutely blew it. I'm not sure who they play next week, but my God, they blew it today.
I'll tell you who they play Newcastle, Nick.
That's a big game. That's a really big game.
And I think the Sharks after that they play the Broncos, I think soon, and then they play the Melbourne Storm in the last round. So there's a few tricky games up there for the Sharks. So this was really a must-win game.
Well, I'm telling you
what the Sharks are going to produce.
If the Titans lose tomorrow, they're fucked because they play Melbourne and South. South and Melbourne the next 2 weeks, and then they finish with the Warriors. Now everyone's like, "Oh, the Warriors got lucky." The Warriors have got nothing to play for now but pride. All they're going to do now, they're going to play all the teams that are above them, and they're going to fucking make their time hell. Look at the Sharks. Sharks are fighting for top 8. Warriors are just trying to get the season done with so they can go back to New Zealand and go home. And look what they did. They showed up. They really hurt the Sharks' chances of finals football. They hurt them badly.
To be honest, Nick, I've already put a red felt pen through the Warriors, and it might come back to bite me, maybe. They're still mathematically now a chance, and the Warriors have the Doggies next weekend as well, man. So they could win 3 games in a row and be 1 win outside the top 8, the Warriors, next week if they beat the Doggies now. So mathematically still a shot. But I've already put I've already put the red felt pen through them, man. But it's mathematically still on for the Warriors.
But at the same time, you don't know what's going to happen with the Warriors. They could literally lose to the Doggies next week.
Mathematically, they're fucked. When you start talking about mathematically making finals, you know you're fucked. You know you're gone. You know you're gone. They're fucked. They're fucked. Seriously, look at no way. There's absolutely no chance. Look, if I make the 8, the Warriors, I'll get a Warriors tattoo as well.
A stick on one, just a lick on one, mate. Just a temporary, bro. Just a temporary one. Yeah.
And if I don't make the 8, I'll get a Warriors tattoo on my ass. And then I'll go to the toilet and I'll shit in it. That's what the Warriors do every week. Shit this.
What were your thoughts on the Roosters and Panthers game today?
Roosters-Panthers. Now, I've got to say, this game, I was really pumped up for this game, but my God, I got really disappointed really quickly. It was sloppy. It was slow. The quality wasn't there. The Roosters frustrated the hell out of me, but no one frustrated me more than Jared Sutton. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Jesus. The Roosters.
How many 6 games is he going to get?
For the Panthers.
My
First
God.
10 minutes after the line. 6 again. Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
My fucking God. I got, the Jared Hargraves sin bin just, oh, come on, man. The referee didn't even give the players a warning. It's just, there's no consistency
with it. It's like going back to
Magic
Magic Round, basically.
It's an absolute joke, seriously. Yeah. And what was that no try that happened in the first half of the Roosters game? Actually, it was the Sharks game. Actually, the Talakai no try. I'll talk about that soon. But yeah, I forgot to mention that. I'll fucking bring that up as well. But my God, the Roosters, a very good finish to the game. They came back really late there. But how many 6 agains are they going to give away? But someone who I thought played really well, Tim Vidos just mentioned it in the chat, Taylor May on the wing. I thought he was outstanding, bro. I thought he was in the top 3 players on ground. I thought he was brilliant.
Was he on debut?
Oh.
That left winger.
Yes, it was, mate. Yes, it was.
He was very good.
Yeah, man, that's a fair rap from you, mate. I probably wouldn't have him in the top 3. I thought Tago had a good game for Penrith as well. But Eastern Suburbs were their own worst enemy tonight, mate. I know Jared Sutton made that call on Jared Hargreaves. And to be honest, man, when crackdown round happened in round 10 earlier this season, we probably all would have, copped it and moved on sort of thing, but they stopped the crackdown. It was dead. And Jared Sutton just came out of nowhere with no warning and sent him off to the sin bin, man. I thought that was a really, as Jared Hargreaves himself said, it was a really rough decision and tough decision. And I think they did score from that, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it definitely changed the complexion of the game. Penrith were, they were still clunky, but boy, howdy, Matt bloody Burton had a stellar performance tonight, didn't he?
Big pick up for the Doggies. They're lacking halves right now. So to bring Burton into Belmont next season, that gives them a whole lot of confidence,
100%, man. And breaking Teddy's ankles as well when he made that break down the sideline from a really good pass from Kickow as well, might I add.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good, man. But Burton was absolutely sensational tonight.
Yep, Sam Walker was fucking shit. He did nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I just want to give a quick shout out to one of my mates in the chat. His name's Ali. He's been a Roosters fan ever since he was born. Passionate Roosters fan. Not the result they wanted tonight, but I just want to give a quick shout out to him. Most passionate and loyal fan I've known.
He'd be absolutely fuming. He'd be fuming about that. Sam Walker was awful, bro. I was hoping he'd do something tonight, but Drew Hutchison was the main half. I thought he was great, Hutchison. I thought he had a really good game.
I agree with you, man. That's funny you should say that. I actually did think that about 3/4 of the way through. Hutchison was definitely the better of the halves tonight, man. Yeah, definitely.
Drew Hutchison doesn't get the reps he deserves, bro. I'm a fan of him. He does a really good job. It's not your typical half that come in and just fucking organise the side. He's just a very good, solid player who can do the job.
Yeah. Sam Drells from dummy half didn't offer too much as well, unfortunately, for the eastern suburbs. But on and off the ball, man, they were their own worst enemy, the Roosters, tonight.
Joseph Manu was probably their best player.
Aren't they linked to Brandon Smith? I've been hearing reports that they're trying to go after Brandon Smith.
No, fucking hope not. Fucking hope not. Look, I said 3 months ago that Brandon Smith and the Roosters will probably happen, but if it happens, I'll be pretty fucking annoyed because they're stacked as it is for next year. And I think this year for them, a pass mark for them would be probably win a final and then go out the next week. That would be a good thing for them with all the injuries. But if I get to the prelim, the Roosters, they're overachieving for mine. But Panthers, they did well. Matt Burton was best on the ground for sure. But the Panthers for mine, bro, I thought they were quite boring tonight. I don't think they were that good. I thought they were
very clunky in defence, man. And but they definitely looked so much better than what they did last week against the Storm. They had Yo back.
Yeah,
they had Coruscant back, who I thought wasn't still all that good though. He'll come back when he gets his mind frame right. And I think they had another player back for him as well tonight. I think. So yeah, but they'll get better. Penrith. I mean, finals are still a month away, and they still have some more troops to come back into the squad. And Nathan Cleary. Next week, the Panthers have the Dragons. I don't think Cleary will come back for that game. I think that will be the game that Cleary comes back. I think Penrith can win without Cleary against the Dragons next week.
I think that Penrith versus Souths game will probably determine who finishes second on the ladder, bro. The way it's looking.
A lot of people are writing off the Panthers right now. Look for me, right? Like regardless what side you are, take out your number 7s or like take out your number 1. It's a whole different structure. They have to go through a new plan and all that. So like once Cleary's back, like Penrith will start going back to old form. Tua will be back soon. Yo will be back soon. So they'll have that chemistry together to go along. And when they enter finals footy, they'll be back in confidence because people are writing them off right now. But I think they'll come back to shock everyone and be in the grand final for the second year in a row.
Just for fuck's sake, beat Melbourne, please. For fuck's sake. Someone. Fuck. How much?
There's something coming, man. There's something coming, man.
Funny thing is, in the last 5 seasons... Yeah. Funny thing, in the last 5 seasons, Melbourne have missed the grand final once. They've made it in 2016, 17, 18. 19, they just fall short in the prelims. 2020, they won. So, yeah, it's been quite boring, to see Melbourne have that much success. Geez, calm down, Storm fans.
All right, so we've gone over all the Super Saturday. I want to mention one more thing. The no try to Talakai. Fuck me, Dad. The obstruction. You got to be. Seriously. Have you seen it? You and Aiken. He's just standing there. He could have made a tackle, but he decided not to. Oh, fucking
I saw it. No, yeah, and I think I forget who said it, but someone said that shit needs to get corrected. That needs to be corrected come finals time, mate. And that was a strange bastard of his decision, man, for sure.
In the chat, Jacko here says, Nick, bro, you're obsessed with betting the Storm, mate. When you've been alive as long as I have, and you've had to put up with this Melbourne shit every year and every week, you get sick of it, and you just want to beat them. We have a troll in the chat named Aiden Ihaka. Well, on behalf of the Late Night Footy Show, Aiden Ihaka, go and get yourself fucked. Get out of my show, you cocksucker. Let's move on. Anyway, the Talakai no try was just a fucking joke, The Sharks player had nowhere to go. I think it was Jack Williams that was in the way, and you and Aiken could have made the tackle, but again, there's no common sense with the obstruction rule. It needs to be looked at. I've said it 1,000 times. One game will be a try, one game it won't be a try, and whether it's your team or it's against your team, it fucking just hurts. It just drives you mad.
And that's the problem, Nick. That's the problem with I know we're jumping games, but Jared Sutton's sin bin decision on Jared Hargreaves. There are a couple of instances in the game before and after that game where they could have easily have sent them for 10 for a professional foul, but the referees didn't. So the referees, I know interpretation's different for everybody, but they're not on the same wavelength, and that's where we're going to have some serious problems come September.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of problems out there, but anyway, we'll move on. Move on to Friday night footy, boys.
I've just got a question for you.
Go on,
Nick, I've just got a question for you.
Go on, far away.
Like, you know, we know Brody Croft hasn't been in the best of form for a while, you know, and it's been evident in the last 2 seasons. And the Broncos are potentially like shipping him off. Where do you see him playing next year? And even if he does stay in the NRL, do you see him at the Broncos next year?
There's absolutely no chance that he'll be at Brisbane. Look, he's going to the Super League. I support Salford in the Super League, and apparently he's going to my team, Salford. So I'll find out more about that in the coming days because I've got a nice source over there. But I think he'll be signing with Salford. He probably already has, but just waiting for it to get confirmed by the club. But I think he will be at Salford next year. But yeah, the Broncos definitely don't want him, and I don't think he deserves to beat the Broncos because they got Reynolds next year. They've got Albert Kelly there, Gamble, so they don't need Croft. And Milford's already gone to South next year, so makes sense. But anyway, let's move on. Friday night footy. We'll go to the last game. Parramatta versus Souths. Fuck me, Parramatta. My God.
Parramatta.
I know.
Disgraced. You know.
I know Moses is injured and he should have played, but fuck, that was bad.
Yeah, but come on, they're in the top 4. It's a top 4 clash, you know. It just felt like 15 versus first. Fuck me, what are Parramatta doing? What are they doing? All of a sudden, their season's crashing down. You know, people
it was like watching South versus Saints.
They're already choking the regular season, you know.
It was a bad game before
you can argue Moses injured and all that, but come on. You have to look at their draw. Tonight has shown me no reason why they're going to bounce back in the next coming weeks, you know? And they could drop to as low as 6, you know? That's huge.
They will.
You know?
They fucking will too.
Yeah.
They will. They have one more win in them. One more win this year will happen for them.
Yeah. You know, and looking at Manly's performance tonight, you know, they challenged Melbourne to the 80-minute, you know, and put aside the controversy and everything, I reckon Manly would have got that. And Manly actually pay Parramatta next week, so I'm tipping Manly 13 plus in that game.
They're fucked next week. They're going to get killed. Gone.
Yeah.
Manly 13 plus.
Manly, absolutely. I mean, they put them to the sword by 13 plus a couple of months ago. Manly did. Parramatta, man, they started the season like a house on fire. And it's just been, they're one of them teams that did it, and it's bitten them on the ass, mate. They wanted to come out showing that they're a top 4 player, but now the time for September's coming, and they've got no more legs left in them, mate. Moses is playing injured. Regan Campbell-Gillard's gone until maybe the second week of finals, if they make it to the second week of finals. And I think Blake Ferguson's out of form. I think Hayes Dunster is a really good player, actually, and I think he's a good one for the future. But South Sydney, man, it's South Sydney. They're going to be so dangerous. They're going to be so dangerous, man.
I want to talk about something a little bit off topic here. Now everyone's been talking about this. It's been talked about everywhere, and I'm sick of hearing it. But it's not going to stop. The future of Brad Arthur. Everyone's talking about it. Oh, get rid of Brad Arthur and all this. Why? Why get rid of Brad Arthur? What is that going to actually achieve? They have no fucking other good coach on the market right now. Brad Arthur built that roster. Yes, they have been disappointing, but let's be honest here. Let's be completely honest here. Did anyone have Parramatta in their grand final at the start of the year? Did anyone have Parramatta finishing lower than 6? Did anyone actually tip Parramatta to win the comp? They have not proven to me that they are going to win the comp, and getting rid of Brad Arthur is not the answer. It's the fucking cancer. It will make things go downhill. Players that play for Parramatta right now want to leave. Yeah. There is absolutely no reason to get rid of Brad Arthur. Yes, they've fallen off, but he's proven that he can make the Eels into a top 6 team. Yes, they have not been good in the big games as of late, but they're only a couple of pieces away from being that really good side like a Manly or Penrith or Melbourne. So everyone's saying get rid of Brad Arthur. It won't achieve fucking anything.
Take into fact, they're 2018.
There's no reason for him to leave. It's dumb.
Take into the fact that 2018 Parramatta finished as the Wooden Spooners, and for the next season for them to make the semis, that's a huge improvement.
Exactly. Right.
That's why it's also like it's hard being an NRL coach. At the same time, it's not really Brad Arthur's fault. Like Parramatta going there every night, putting on these performances. There's hardly so much you can do like off the field. That your players can do on the field.
There's no reason to get rid of him. There's no Shane Flanagan. Shane Flanagan's got a very, very controversial coaching history. Yeah, he won a comp in 2016, but we all saw 2014, the drug scandal thing. We all saw in 2000, was it the end of 2019, I think it was, where he had the cheating thing, whatever the fuck it was. So Shane Flanagan's not going to come in and just fix the Eels and make them a top 4 side. He hasn't coached for nearly 2 years. It won't work. It's dumb. So getting rid of Brad Arthur for someone else is just absolutely fucking stupid. Yeah. So
Nick, just before you move on, man, I was one of those people that after the first 6 or 10 rounds, I did have Parramatta as a genuine grand final opportunity, man. I thought their attack was really solid. Their defense was equally so, man. But they just put so much into the start of the season to prove themselves and to prove to everybody else, and it's just come to bite them on the ass.
NRL Vince just wrote in the chat, Brad Arthur can't take the Eels to the next level. History proves that. Now, yes, that is a fantastic point, but you get rid of Brad Arthur, the players don't want to play for a new coach because they don't want to change their style of play too much. And just because, there's no one that can take him there. What you're going to buy Wayne Bennett for 1 year? What's that going to fucking achieve? Nothing. So getting rid of Brad Arthur for it is just dumb. It ain't going to work. Nothing. Players will leave. Govison might be unhappy then. There's other players. Papali'i won't play as good as what he has under Brad Arthur. Everyone forgets about it all the time. Coaches and players is very important. You've got to have a good relationship, because if you go into a team and you don't have a good relationship with that player might not play good. The best one I can explain is James Roberts. James Roberts at the Broncos was fucking phenomenal under Wayne Bennett. He was so good. He was an origin centre. And when Bennett got sacked, Roberts and Seabold never got on. He lost his form a little bit. Now he's at the Tigers, can barely get a run.
He got dropped as well.
Barely get a run at the Tigers now because
Roberts got dropped as well.
Just don't work. So coaches, players, it's very important to have that relationship. Otherwise, look what happened to the player. Look at Darius Boyd. The 1 year Darius Boyd. The 1 year Boyd's not with Wayne Bennett. The Broncos win the Wooden Spoon. So the way the coaches do it with some players, look at George Jennings and Remus Smith. They were has-beens at Canterbury and Parramatta. Now they're in Melbourne and they're playing so good because Bellamy is the coach. The coach is just as important as the player's confidence.
No, really well said, man. Yeah, definitely. But I mean, look. I mean, they're not playing at Bankwest, obviously. I don't think the Parramatta Eels premiership window is closed. I think if things get back to some sort of normality next year, they play their majority of games at Bankwest next season, I think there's still a massive chance, but I think their salary cap might have something to say about that too, because I think they're going to have to move on a few players.
Some players, if Parramatta genuinely believe that they can do deep things in the finals next year, or even this year, if they can somehow turn it around, they're going to have to get players to bloody cut their paychecks. And for fuck's sake, all they need, bro, for Parramatta to be good, they need a strike centre. So Zach Lomax would be a good option. They need an experienced front row for the bench. Someone like Aaron Woods would be a good signing, or Takiyaho, who could be available. They're not far away, Parramatta, but
I agree, Nick. I think they do need a centre. I think their forward pack is good. I think they've got the perfect mix there. They just need one more strike player.
Papali's is a great addition.
Yeah, 100%. Maybe the buy of the year. So, yeah, next season, man, I still give them a shot at the moment, but wouldn't it be wonderful if they all came together and said, let's all take a bit of a – it won't happen, but let's take a pay cut and try and get a premiership for the club. Let's do this.
Dylan Brown is under that much pressure right now. He is hanging by a thread. Dylan Brown is that close to being dropped. I have been hearing shit out of out of the Eels up there in Queensland. And I'm telling you right now, Dylan Brown is this fucking close to getting dropped. Parramatta they're talking about changing the way they play. They're talking about putting Will Smith at 5'8" next week and talking about bringing in Joey Lussick. But because Reid Marnie's injured now, Lussick will go to 9 next week. They're talking about playing potentially Bryce Cartwright at 5'8" and having Ferguson back in the side. So I don't know if they should change their halves right now, the Eels, but I don't think they should. But Dylan Brown has been god-awful. He needs to step up. He really needs to step up.
Absolutely.
Dylan Brown is, I tell you, he's a good kid and he will be a great player in the future. But if he doesn't step up in the next couple of weeks, he is in a lot of trouble. He'll be dropped. But Fraser Land, mate, anything else you want to talk about? Obviously, the Broncos the other night weren't good against the Knights, mate. What do you think about that game?
Yeah. I tipped the Broncos. I had some hope, It was really tough to tip them because they haven't won back-to-back games yet, And Brisbane played really well, in front of a packed Suncorp Stadium, and there were no fans there, so it didn't feel like a home game. And Newcastle obviously playing for much more, trying to make the final, so this was a must-win game as well. Brisbane did have the ball for the first 7 minutes, and to defend like that, for me it was one of the best defensive commitments. Everyone trusted each other. Everyone didn't get out of line. They made the tackles. They weren't given under pressure, considering the amount of times Newcastle had the ball in their own in Brisbane's 40. So to still be within it, it was a really good sign. And you can't really say much about the Broncos considering how much ball Newcastle had that whole game. And it is disappointing because there were chances in that game where Brisbane, if they executed it, I reckon they could have gone. Sure, there were a few bad calls and all that, but we killed ourselves at the end of the day.
They did, yeah. I agree.
And the scoreline does reflect. Yeah.
Newcastle should have won by more.
Yeah.
They should have. But I got to say, bro, in the first half, Newcastle were lucky to be leading, bro. Brisbane had them in the first half, but that try before half time really, really sucked the life out of them.
Mitchell Pearce was the difference, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Yeah, and that goes to show you, how much of a player Mitchell Pearce really is, when he's at his best, and that's how much they've missed him in Ponga for the whole season.
Mitchell Pearce is fucking outstanding. I love him. He came back Thursday night, and he was, in my opinion, man, the match. Thought he was outstanding. Want to mention as well, guys. Again, tonight's show will be a lot shorter than normal because at 11:30 p.m. I want to watch the Super League game. It's first versus second on the ladder. St. Helens versus Catalans. I'll be watching that game. It's on Fox League or KO at 11:30. So if you guys want to watch some more rugby league tonight, you don't want to go to bed, then tune into the Super League at 11:30, lads. 1 versus 2 on the ladder. It's Saints and Catalans. Saints will probably win now because Sam Tompkins got ruled out for Catalans. So I'm probably going to tip Saints to win that game now. But if Catalans had Tompkins, I was going to tip the Catalans. But if James Maloney's playing for tonight for Catalans as well, and I've got the team list here. I'll go through some of the former NRL players you guys might be familiar with. So we'll go with Catalans. Dean Farray playing in the centres tonight for Catalans. He'll be there. James Maloney will be in the halves as well. Gil Dudson, I don't know if he played in the NRL, but he is there. For Saints, though, Lachlan Coote will be at fullback. So Lachlan Coote's playing.
The North Queensland fullback.
And Penrith as well. Kevin Naglama in the centres. He'll be there. Joel Thompson in the back row for Saints. Good old Joel Thompson. And Ignatius Parsi, the former Warriors front rower. And Sione Matauti will be there as well. So should be a good game. But, some of the elite players.
Can I ask you guys,
some of the elite players for Saints, Tony Lomax, Alex Walmsley, Makinson, Bregan Grace, Morgan Knowles, James Roby especially. Plenty of quality. As for Catalan, some of their quality players, Maloney, Farray, Alex DaCosta, Mike Meakin, Joel Tompkins. It'll be a good game at 40 hours. Someone said Sam Cassiano. Yeah, Cassiano plays for Catalans, but he's not playing tonight. He's injured. Catalans have a few out. Maloney's not there. I mean, Sam Tompkins is out. Josh Drinkwater's out, and Cassiano's not there. So, few big outs for Catalans, but I'm tipping Saints to win. Probably between, I'd like to say, 1-12. I'm hoping 1-12, but we'll see what happens. But that should be a great game. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, if you guys want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so. There's a link in the description below. There is Super Chat and there is PayPal. PayPal's the preferred option because the money goes to my account straight away.
Can I just ask?
Yeah. I lost $50 in Manly tonight, so I'm fucking pissed off still. Fuck you, Manly, and fuck you, Melbourne. But anyway, I'm looking forward to that game, Catalans and Saints. But guys, we'll go over the other game real quick. Dragons and Raiders. What do you guys think about that one? I thought the Dragons, they could have won this, but they just fucked up in the second half a fair bit, errors and shit.
You go first for us.
Obviously going into the week. Yeah, thanks, Sam. Obviously going into the week, like Ben Hunt being ruled out was a massive out. He's been their best player a mile this season, and heading into that game after being put 50 on by Souths, wasn't giving them a great deal of confidence. And I think Norman returned back to 5-8. They started the game really well. They took a 8-0 lead. They were resilient in defense. Frustrated Canberra. But I think it was a really sloppy game from both sides. So errors eventually invited the Raiders back into the game, and they took control of it. And it wasn't the most convincing win by any means, but at this stage, Canberra will take it. Still running for the finals. All that matters is the 2 points. Really sloppy game.
I'm telling you, I've been saying this for ages, and I'm still going to stand by it. The Canberra Raiders do not deserve to play finals footy. If they make the 8, man, it's undeserved, bro. They don't deserve to be there. They've been fucking terrible this year. Look, if they make the 8, they're going out first round, bro. I think Newcastle deserve to be there. And I was going to say Cronulla today was just a fucking shot in the face to them.
Just opens it up, honestly.
I'm scared about the Gold Coast, bro. I don't want him in there. Fuck off, Gold Coast.
Yeah, there's still a chance. I did like Dragons' physicality for the first 60 minutes of the game. They definitely got their shoulders stuck into Canberra, but ultimately the link up between the halves and fullback and whatever, it was Ben Hunt. He was missing. They looked really lost for answers in attack. But it was a close loss for the Dragons. They may get another win come the end of the season. But yeah, Canberra just, man, unconvincing win, man.
Jack Bird at fullback. What do you think about that? Jack Bird at fullback.
Tried his backside off, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, I don't think he's got enough, experience with his fellow teammates and experience just in the position as well to be any sort of real dangerous factor, mate.
What about Adam Clune? I thought he had a fair game, but Corey Norman, man, what the fuck's he doing out there? Corey Norman, he's so shit.
I got a rap on Adam Clune, man. I have a nice rap on Adam Clune. I like him. Yeah, definitely. But I think there was a play where Corey Norman went for a grubber kick on third tackle towards the end of the game. You're one of the leaders, maybe the most experienced player in that team, and you're doing that sort of stuff. I feel sorry for Tarek Sims because I think he's had a tremendous year so far, man.
Yeah,
he's been terribly let down by his fellow teammates.
I thought Jack de Belin played well as well. I don't want to be rude, but ever since Jack de Belin's come back to the NRL, I think he's been outstanding. But it feels like the NRL and have something against him because of what happened. It feels like it's just ridiculous. He gave away 2 penalties there where, for mine, they weren't even penalties. And I'm going, this is going to be some sort of bias towards fucking Jack de Belin and fucking, that whole case that happened. But I've got to say, with Tarek Sims, I agree. I thought he played really well. Someone just written in the chat, what are your thoughts on Jack White this year?
Quiet.
Shithouse.
How good was Jordan Rapana, though? Once again.
Really? Really?
He's getting a lot of touches. He's making a lot of those run meters.
Wasn't too bad.
Go ahead. Yeah, but Nick, I think you can take it from here, mate, on Jordan Rapana.
I've said this before, and I am more than happy to say this again. I am more than happy to say it. I said it tonight in my first Saturday Night Football review in the Panthers game. I don't give a fuck how many meters Jordan Rapana makes at fullback. I don't give a flying fuck. His impact at fullback is really hurting Canberra at fullback. It really is hurting them. I'm serious. It's hurting them. I don't care if he has 200 metres at fullback. Same with Dylan Edwards. I don't give a shit. They're not fullbacks. They're only playing there because they have no one else to put there due to injury. Robert he doesn't impact the game with his run meters. He does fuck all. He just run the ball like a front row. It does nothing. It doesn't. You need fullbacks to be playmaking. You need him to be extra 5'8". It doesn't matter about him at fullback. I don't give a fuck. He's not a fullback. He needs to be on the wing. Now, here's the thing. They dropped Sebastian Chris. I still don't know why, but he would have been a better option.
He's been one of the best. Yeah. Oh, definitely, mate.
Unbelievable. And I've got to say, anyone out there that gambles on the footy, has multis and shit, if anyone had a bet on the Raiders-Dragons game and if anyone had Cody Ramsey for a try, he got knocked out, right, in the first play of the game. He wasn't even on the field for 30 seconds, yet the betting companies wouldn't even refund the money.
Oh, is that right?
That is
a
disgrace. Absolute disgrace. Now, I didn't back Ramsey. Lucky me. I did not back him. I went, nah, fuck him. He's playing centre. He ain't going to score. But I saw this one bloke. He had a multi. He had Raiders to win. He had like Ramsey to score any time. And he had the whole multi, bro. He had like $100 on it. And the return was like $500 or whatever the fuck I was paying. And all he needed was Ramsey to score. He got knocked out in the first 10 seconds of the game. And Sportsbet wouldn't, or all the betting companies wouldn't even pay it out. But in the AFL the other week, someone got injured in like the first quarter, 5 minutes into the game, and he Sportsbet and all the other companies pay them out. So anyone who had a bet on Ramsey and lost money, I fucking feel sorry for you because that's a joke.
Yes, when stuff like that happens, it needs to be taken into consideration, man. I think I recall a story like that happening a couple of weeks ago too, man. Yeah, that should get looked at 100%.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense, bro. Cody Ramsey got knocked out. He got knocked out in 10 seconds of the game, and he didn't even fucking come back on the field due to HIA. But then in the AFL the other week, a different sport, but same situation. A player's on the field for 5 minutes, gets injured, but they pay everyone out still. They get them the money back. Come on, man. It's ridiculous, seriously. Ridiculous.
Hey, just on the blockbuster top of the table clash tonight in the Super League, where is it being played? Whose hometown is it, man?
I believe it's at St. Helens' home ground. I'll double check. Believe it's at Saints ground. Let me just double check that.
I'm not much of a Super League watcher, as you know, and I think everybody else knows, man. But by the sounds of things, Sam Tompkins is going to be a big out, man. I know of Sam Tompkins. Yeah, dude.
It's at St. Helens' home ground, the Totally Wicked Stadium. It's a very funny name, I know. But
yeah.
It's a very fucking weird name. But yeah, I think Saints will win, but I'm hoping it's close. Someone in the chat says, I put $100 on Addo Carr scoring. I didn't. Oh,
man, that's unlucky. Sorry, man.
Mate, I would have won about $250 if Gary had scored that last try where it was a forward pass. I almost broke the TV. I was that mad. But multis, man, they fuck you up a lot. Fucking make you wild. But boys, what about the World Cup being postponed? Are you guys a fan of that or what?
You first,
honestly, look, I'm a big Australia fan, you know. So thanks. Sorry for that, Sam. Look, I'm a big Australia fan, you know, and like Australia and New Zealand, like, are really good to watch. You know, they're the main two teams there. So, look, for me, honestly, like, personally, I'm fine with it being postponed. But like, I think usually for everyone else, I don't think they're that pleased with it. You know, especially a World Cup happening every 4 years. You know, us footy fans have been waiting for this blockbuster tournament for a while. You know, and for it to be postponed, you know, it's frustrating. But you know, I'd be happy to see a full tournament with Australia and New Zealand in it. Those are the two big sides. You know.
Yeah, bro, it's fucked. It really is fucked. It's just. Let's move on from it, bro. Me and Sam spoke about this buddies on the podcast the other night. Fuck's sake, how fucked is it? Honestly, you know, it's just going to be ruined now because next year they have the World Cup on. Teams like Scotland, teams like who else is in there? France, teams like Cook Islands. They're going to get no. Jamaica.
PNG.
None of them are going to get any fucking talk now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
I just want to ask you, blokes. I know there's 2 games left for the week, but what are your tips for round 22? Have you guys looked at any certain game that you've gone like, I'm already tipping this team?
Let me have a look, brother. Let me have a look. Let's have a look here. For next week, games that I'm confident in. I'm pretty confident Melbourne will beat Canberra. Canberra won't be beating Melbourne.
Yeah.
Saints won't beat Penrith.
Panthers to get the Dragons.
Chooks should bounce back. Roosters should bounce back. South should beat the Gold Coast. Cowboys and Tigers is a flip the coin because the Cowboys are unpredictable. Manly should beat Parramatta. Warriors and Dogs is going to be a hard game to pick because the Dogs got nothing to play for, and the Warriors, like Sam said, mathematically can still make it.
And New Zealand are inconsistent.
The Warriors are one of those sides, bro. They'll beat the Sharks like they did today, but they'll lose to a team like the Dogs. So that's a hard game to pick in itself. And Sharks versus Knights is a very, very important game. So I think there's a lot of one-sided games there. But, Broncos Roosters could be good. Cowboys Tigers is hard to get a read. Manly Eels has potential to be good if the Eels show up. But, hard to really say, bro. But to be honest, I'm looking forward to round 23, Panthers Souths. That's what I'm looking forward to. Can't wait for that.
Yeah. Potentially second versus third on the ladder. So, yeah.
Well, I think the winner of that game will finish second, more than likely. The way things are looking at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, bro, I reckon the Bulldogs will beat the Tigers. I don't know why.
This is honestly, I just can't get myself. I told myself I won't be tipping the Tigers ever again, but can you really trust the Doggies? I mean, are the Dogs capable of winning another game this season? This is their best chance.
I think they're playing.
It's tough.
I think they're playing with a lot more grit, mate.
Yeah.
They can play with some grit. They can put some more points on than the West Tigers are capable of doing, mate. I've tipped the Bulldogs. Yeah. I ain't tipping the Tigers.
The Doggies actually turn up against the Tigers
as well. Absolutely, man. But insofar as your question goes, man, next week the game of the round is Cronulla versus Newcastle, dude. That's going to be so interesting, and I'm going to absolutely shut off my phone when that comes on to play, man. Don't ask me who I'm tipping, but I just that'll be game of the round next week.
Sharks and Knights.
Yep.
It probably is at the moment.
Yep. Because you know that the Sydney media are going to pump up Manly and Parramatta. I get it, man. But Parramatta are in bad form at the moment, dude. And Sharks and Knights is just a bit because they're more. Sharks and Knights are game of the round next week, man.
Yeah, 8 versus 9 if the Titans win, or 7 versus 9 if the Titans lose. So who knows? It's a very, very important game. If the Sharks lose, I think they're gone. If they lose next week.
It's a fair call, dude.
They're gone, bro. Because then I think they played Melbourne last round. And Melbourne will rest players, no matter what.
Yeah.
Luckily
for Newcastle, they got the victory.
Yeah. Anyway, you want to ask a few questions, bro? Because I'm getting out of here very soon. Ask a few questions. Fire away.
Where do you think the Broncos will finish next season? Considering the signings, they've got Adam Reynolds now. They've got a halfback. Kirk Capel's joining the joint next season.
Go on, Sam. I'm just trying to think, bro. You go first, Sam.
So thanks for letting us know. So Adam Reynolds, Kirk Capel. You're going to have Payne Haas there. I think Jake Turpin needs to really prove himself next year because at the moment, I don't think you have a good dummy half at the moment. Turpin has his moments. Pat Carrigan.
I don't know why they're letting Levi go.
Pat Carrigan comes in and he needs to work on his discipline. He's a really ill-disciplined player, mate. It's so hard. It's going to be such a brilliant year next year. But at this stage, on my gut feeling, I think Broncos will probably fight in 9th or 11th position next year, man. But they'll be better than what they have been for the past couple of seasons next year.
Yeah.
Well, I think I still think they'll be in the bottom 4.
Fair call. Oh, that's okay. No judging.
That's all right.
I just don't know about Kevin Walters. I just don't know. It's hard to
It's
really
similar
say.
to the Doggy side.
You know, you buy a halfback, you buy a halfback, you buy a back rower. I still question a few things about them. You know, Herbie and Katoni are their best outside backs.
Yeah, there's literally still like you know, people said Brody Croft would be the next big thing for the Broncos, and when he came, like his career's in like sheds right now. So there's a potential worry like, will Reynolds be the same at Broncos, or like will they be putting a lot of pressure on him to deliver? Because right now, like they're expecting him to come next season, bring us back into the 8, hopefully like fight us as hard as we can. Yeah.
Look, obviously I'm a Cowboys fan and I couldn't care less about the Broncos, but I've seen this story before, bro. You know, the teams have gone out really hard. They've bought a big name halfback and it just doesn't work. And Reynolds going to the Broncos, making them a top 8 side instantly, that's not what Reynolds does. That's not the impact he has. He never has done that. And it's going to be the first time in his entire career that he's playing for a team besides the Bunnies. He's never, ever played for another club before. So the pressure, the expectation, going to Suncorp, trying to fix a franchise that has been diabolical for a couple of years, it ain't going to click in 1 year. It's going to take a couple of years. But with the Broncos being such a big club as they are, it's hard to imagine them being that good straight away. It's a big ask. And, yeah, they've got capable, but they still have a lot of inexperience, though. They don't have a fullback. They don't have a hooker.
They're spine, yeah.
They're 5'8".
Backline. Their entire backline are sort of going to be the same next year as what they have been for the past 18 months now, man. And if Reynolds does take them to semi-final footy next year, man, Adam Reynolds' status goes up a level. And he's already in the top 10 greatest
100%.
Point scorers of all time,
100%.
man.
I don't know, bro.
Don't know.
I don't think they'll make the 8. I think the highest they get is 11th. The lowest is like 14th. They're probably going to be between 11 and 14. 11 and 14. Somewhere between that. Can't see him making the 8. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, because it's there's a lot of other teams fighting for that spot. You know, I think the top 4 or 5 will be the same next year. Obviously, with Luke Keary coming back for the Roosters, I think they'll be much better next season. You know, you've chucked in the Storm, Panthers, the Roosters. Manly will be there. Hopefully, Tommy Tober's available for them the whole season. Cronulla will be fighting. Newcastle will be fighting. So it's hard to see where like the Broncos are going to challenge. You know, the best they could probably go is 8.
Whoa! You forgot to mention South. You didn't mention South.
Oh, exactly. South. That's what I'm saying. You know, South Sydney as well.
I was just going to say, South will be under the pump next year. No Reynolds, no Bennett, no Gagai, no Sewer.
I actually don't have Souths next year in my top 4. I don't have Souths in my top 4 next year.
I don't see them as a top 4 side next year. I can't see them anywhere near the top 4.
May I just ask one question, actually, Nick? Now, you and I, we're kind of like that, mate. You know. Yeah. Can I ask you, mate, to sort of put out there? Is there a rumor going around that David Clemmer is linked with North Queensland at the moment?
Mate, Dale Finucane was linked. Kurt Capewell was linked. Fucking, I don't know. It's hard to say. Okay. Look, I've got a mate who works up in Townsville who hangs around that area, so I'll give him a call later and see what he reckons. But it's only a rumor, bro. I don't know who made the rumor up, but we'll see what happens. But one more question before we get out of here, because Clemmer would be a great signing, but who knows? Yeah. He's been shipping around.
Is he linked to the Broncos? He's been linked to the Broncos as well.
He's been linked to a lot of clubs, the Broncos as well. He's been linked to so many teams. One more question, bro. I've got to get my bets on for the Super League game. I want to get a bet on this one. Hopefully I can get a win on that one. Any more questions?
Next year, where do you see Penrith at? You know, obviously, like last year, you know, they came a big way to making the grand final. This year, they've made the top 4. Like, we'll see how they go in the finals. How do you see them next season going forward?
Probably
more consistent in the future.
Probably top 4 again. It's hard to imagine them dropping off.
Yeah,
they're still going to be top 4, top 5. They'll be up there, bro.
Yeah.
Man, you agree? Top 4,
Really
top 5?
Yeah.
5. Yeah. Middle top 8. Middle top 8.
Yeah, between 1 and 5, bro.
Yeah.
If they finish lower than 5th, it'd be a disappointment. But guys, that might do it for tonight. The Nick from Australia Late Night Footy Show. If you guys enjoyed the show, make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Big thanks to Faraz for jumping on and Sam as well, as always. Guys, we're getting out of here. Have a great Sunday night. See you guys tomorrow afternoon for the Sunday afternoon football review. Until then, stay safe. Take care of yourself. See you later.
Adios.
Cheers, mate.